would you look at that? Even without a trail to follow, our boys managed to make it out okay. And with a new friend to boot. This desert holds a number of secrets, of unmarked graves and unspoken promises. And it's not done with our boys just yet. So for one last time, let's step off the blazing trail.
Okay, so we are still in minisode mode at the moment. October seems to be just that time to do so. And instead of a 3-person adventure, roughly working off of a pre-built mod, we're going to have a 2-person adventure off the seat of my pants. Yay! Yeah, so on this adventure, we're going to have a Lobe and Lannon escapade. You both can say hi.
Hello.
Hello!
And we'll just see where this magical adventure leads. So, like I said before, this particular adventure will take place within that 2-week span between leaving Azuandil and getting to the Astral Puddle. I'm sure at this point this feels like the longest 2 weeks of your life, having consist of a haunted house episode, doing some seagull shenanigans, painting Florence with some hot rod flames. I forgot we did that until just now.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
I don't know where that falls into this particular timeline, but I'm gonna say this adventure, this little two dudes on the road thing, happens a couple days after your haunted house escapade. So we'll say we're like at the beginning of week 2, and the scenery hasn't changed too much. Still a desert, still really boring. Your companions, Svein and Kennam, are, up to their usual things. Svein's reading in the library. Kennam seems to be very interested in bonding with his new doll familiar. I tried to think of a better way to say that. There was worse I could think of.
Doll familiar works.
It does. I was trying to think of something else to say, but yeah, whatever. Excuse me. And you don't see Ears too much. She still sort of just lives downstairs. And excuse me again. Good gracious, very burpy today.
Cat,
and
stop
hiccupy.
it.
I'm sorry. It's just a natural part of my body. Like Winslow sort of just goes here and there. For the most part, the Florence is on autopilot. So my question to you two boys is, what are you up to this fine day in the desert of boring nothingness?
Eating food and looking at sand.
Okay, well, that's appropriate. Lannon, you doing anything fun today?
Target practice downstairs.
Okay, well, I mean, if you went downstairs, it'd be a whole new world. So my assumption is you went to the training room that also serves part as the alchemy room, which is really bad design choice the more I think about it, but whatever. What? You mean we're gonna have fireballs next to a bunch of, flammable shit? Whatever. It's fine. Okay, so it sounds like not too interesting of a day. Lobe's probably hanging out in the kitchen, getting himself a snack, watching sand roll by. You are, and Lannon, you are sort of practicing. I assume you've been practicing with your Mimichrome, because that's a fun new toy. Okay, that's what I thought. And like I said, this has kind of just sort of become the norm after the haunted house. It's just been a nice little downtime adventure. And it's about, we'll say midday as this is going on. And Lobe, you, I assume, are just making the greatest smorgasbord of whatever happens to be still left over from the stuff you got from Azuandil. Maybe it's
a really big sandwich.
Yeah, the most epic sandwich of random shit that could be assembled. And while you are kind of putting the finishing touches on this masterful piece of food, I had a better word, I would like you to roll me perception.
Okay. Do I notice my sandwich is tilting?
Is your sandwich slightly off to kilter?
No, I crit fail.
Oh, are you serious? Oh no, first crit fail. Okay, so you're putting the finishing touch on these, like I said, this sort of like artistic piece that is edible, and you're about to like chomp down into this masterpiece, and you suddenly feel your body go heavy, and you sort of just kind of slump into your sandwich, and you black out. Lannon, same deal. Can you make me a perception roll?
That is 15 plus.
Oh.
What is it? 19.
I was really hoping you were going to say a crit fail too.
No. Oh, I was really hoping I wasn't. Thank God.
Okay, so you're we'll say you're practicing with your Mimichrome. You're sort of like trying to shift from an axe heavy armada to maybe something else. You said something about shooting, so maybe you're like trying to get it to turn into like a bow and arrow.
Crossbow.
Or arrows. Crossbow? Okay, so like maybe some crossbow bolts or like the physical crossbow itself. And you hear this sort of clattering sound outside, like it sounds like it's coming from the kitchen. And it's very brief, like you hear something go like, and then it just all goes silent. Like someone had hastily tried to cover up a large man face planting into a giant sandwich and or some kitchenware.
I'm going and seeing what the fuck that was.
Okay. No caution to the wind, I assume. You're just like, what the heck did Lobe do this time?
I mean, I'm taking my shield just in case, but like...
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so you walk out, shield at the ready, and you see 3 figures, all of which are robed. They don't look like any of your friends. And one of them is currently trying to stuff Lobe into a comically sized bag. And by comically sized, I mean this is like way too small of a bag. Like if they were going to kidnap people, this was not the size burlap sack to get.
Is it Kennam size?
Yeah, maybe like it is like human sized, but it's not Lobe sized. And they see you, and I guess we're gonna just do a quick initiative.
Cool.
Because my assumption is you're not gonna let them get away with this.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I just wanted to double check, make sure we're all on the same page here.
Got a 16?
Yeah, okay. The 2 gentlemen or ladies of similar stature who are not currently trying to shove Lobe in a bag suddenly lunge out at you, and they have these daggers at the ready, and they're gonna try and attack you. And by attack you, I mean, you know, stab
Fail.
you. Stabbing is good.
They're gonna fail.
Are they? Okay.
What'd you roll?
Hang on. Does a 20 and 24 hit?
24 does, 20 does not.
Okay, so the first guy lunges and kind of hits too low. You sort of dodge to the left, and the second one nicks you. 4. I wasn't ready for damage. I thought I had my damage dice out, and then I realized it was the wrong dice.
God damn it, Cat.
I'm sorry! Here's what I want.
That sounds like a D4.
It is a D4. Doesn't hit you for too much damage, but I need you to make a Constitution save with disadvantage.
Oh, wow. Disadvantage. Okay, that should be good. Alright, that's a 16. That's a 10. Plus my Constitution, that's a 17 total.
Okay, so you feel woozy for a second, but then you're okay. Meanwhile, the guy who's currently trying to stuff Lobe in a bag continues to stuff Lobe in a bag. He's like maybe halfway in this bag at this point. Go ahead and make your roll.
Alright, cool. I'm lunging for the dude with the bag.
Okay. Just to put in perspective, that means you're going past the 2 who tried to stab you, so they do get an opportunity to hit you again.
Oh.
Are you down to clown with this? I don't know if you really have an opportunity not to. Where you're fighting is sort of between the entryway and the kitchen area. Not a lot of room to maneuver. So unless you pulled off some crazy Jackie Chan stuff here, they're probably going to hit you if you try and charge forward.
Actually, I have an idea.
Okay.
Alright. So, yeah, this should work. So, take out my little quarterstaff battle axe handle thing.
Okay.
Turn it into my battle axe, and then use both my actions to swing at the 2 people closest to me.
Okay. That sounds fun. Roll me at disadvantage.
What? Why are they so... Alright. Fine. That is a 14. And, wow, that's a lot higher. 24.
Yeah, we're not going with that 24. We're going with that 14.
Yeah.
Which doesn't hit, unfortunately. So you kind of whiff the shot a bit. They like duck underneath as you swing it around.
Alright, that was the first person. It's 19. That's a 14 plus 6, 20.
Okay, the 20 definitely hits.
Cool. Where's my d8? There's my d8. That is a 4 plus 3. That's 7 damage to that dude.
Okay.
And,
so it's... Yeah.
and I also have action surge.
Oh, God damn it. Okay.
I'm trying to make this as streamlined as possible. Alright.
I got you.
Swinging back towards the dude I missed. Well, that's a critical fail.
Oh, no.
Looks like I tripped on my own feet.
Okay, so let's paint the scene for a second here. You've just seen Lobe try partially get stuffed in a bag. One guy comes over to... 2 guys come over to attack you, one of them stabs you, and your response is to whip out your quarterstaff, bash one of them over the skull with it, and then I guess the guy who ducked sort of tripped you as well, so now you're laying prone on the ground and your quarterstaff just goes whee!
Seems like it.
And it's back to these guys, and they're not gonna waste any time. They're just gonna, like, knock your ass unconscious. I would roll for this, but I feel like this is a, what do they call it in Pathfinder?
Coup de grace?
Yeah, but not killing you, in a sense. Because, again,
Alright.
I don't want you dead, per se. But this is sort of like a coup de grace moment in which you're on the ground, one of them sort of takes the blunt end of their dagger, you see stars, and now you're unconscious. Yay!
Yeah. Fun times to be had.
Yeah, the adventures of Lobe and Lannon could start.
He just wanted to eat a sandwich.
Just let the man eat a sandwich. So you two eventually wake up, and you wake up in mostly the dark. Lannon, do you have night vision? Dark vision? Whatever it's called?
Don't think so, no.
Okay, cool. Then you both kind of just wake up in the dark. There's like this very faint outline of a space. You seem to be somewhere, like in some sort of room. There's this purplish blue light reflecting off of what seems to be bars, and you two are kind of slumped together in the corner, possibly Lannon pinned down by Lobe. I'll let that scene play out as is. But yeah, you are now in an unknown location. And both of you are fully conscious at this point.
Huh? What? Where's my sandwich?
What the
Sorry, Lannon.
Hey man, how's it going?
A lot better if I had my sandwich. Where are we?
Bulls if I know. Mind getting off me?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I shift to get off of Lannon.
Kind of just like roll off of him.
Lannon goes to try and stand.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can stand. It's not like your legs have been broken by the mob or anything like that.
Cool.
I mean,
Okay.
yet. The night is young.
If it is night, we're in a room that's dark. That doesn't necessarily scream nighttime nor daytime.
That's fair enough.
I guess take stock of the room. Anything else other than what we've been told?
Okay. You can make me a perception check, or you can spend like 5 or 10 or so minutes kind of flailing about trying to figure out what's in place. I'm cool with either or.
Perception is 18 total.
Okay.
Perception is 20 total.
Wow, goddamn. For people who can't see in the dark, you sure can see in the dark. Well, it's like I said, you seem to be in some sort of room. The only light source you can see are these lanterns hanging outside of barred doors. Very familiar lanterns, actually. They look just like the lanterns you saw down at the haunted house episode that are like with the purple blue flames, like the ancient looking ironwork. And yeah, you seem to be in a very crudely made cell. Yeah, it's like the walls are made of like this sort of smoothed out sandstone, and though the bars on said jail look old, they also look like they have been well kept. So perhaps trying to snap them into like a Kit Kat bar may not be the best option, or maybe it is, depending on your train of action here.
See if I can open the door.
Okay.
Well, while he's doing that, Lannon's gonna pat himself down, see if he has everything, if not just about everything.
Okay. So Lobe, you go to try to open the door. Shock and surprise, it's locked. There seems to be a padlock system of sorts that requires a key to open. And Lannon, as you pat yourself down, you realize you don't have any of your stuff. All your stuff is gone.
Like, no armor?
Yeah. Like, no
Question.
armor, no weapons, nothing that could help you break out of jail.
The lock is on the inside of the door, or it's on the outside of the door, and I can see it on the other side?
You could see it on the outside of the door.
Okay.
That'd be silly if it was on the inside.
Wait,
Just verifying.
alright, quick question. Do I still have my bracer? Because, I mean, that doesn't actually have an opening or closing.
Like, get an opening or close. Oh, you mean like your like a jewelry piece? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Cool.
I don't know why that's specific, but okay.
Because Mimichrome is my bracer.
God damn it! You can't just pull this on me. Wait a minute.
I've told you about this before. I sent you a drawing even. It doesn't have an opening or closing, and it stays around my wrist.
Okay, fine. Proceed.
Yes! Now, the door. Is it possible for me to reach to the lock?
If you give me a fun little acrobatics just to like make sure you don't accidentally break your arm flipping through this slit in the jail cell.
Acrobatics? Alright, that's 19 total.
Hold on. Just a hot second here. Where did my... There it is. Okay. You said 19 total?
Yep.
Okay. So you managed to sort of bend your way through these bars and reach the padlock. Which Lobe, because you asked that question earlier, I'm gonna say if you had tried that, your arm probably would have gotten stuck. Given your, size in ratio to normal people.
Okay.
But yeah, you kind of managed to start. Your hand kind of touches the outline of the.
Now, is this like a padlock, or?
Yeah. Someone seems to have brought a padlock with them and put it in place of whatever locking system was once used, because it's very likely that's a little obsolete at this point.
Could I turn Mimichrome into a key?
Oh, jeez. Let me think. I'm gonna say, make me a concentration, like a, I guess, make me like an intelligence check, but make it at a disadvantage, because,
no.
like I stated earlier, it's supposed to kind of be for,
Weapons?
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, that's fair too.
Alright, that's an 8.
That's an 8? Okay. So you sort of form your mind link with the Mimichrome and like, hey, you should make yourself a key. And the Mimichrome starts to peel off a bit, and it takes a look at this lock, and it kind of looks at you like, what the hell's a key? And then it settles back into your bracer.
Alright, damn.
And sort of as you're finagling with this, you hear a voice, and it seems to come maybe a couple cells down from you. Like, this is a fairly big room. It looks like it could hold maybe 4 or 5 cells total, with you two sharing one. And this voice comes from like the way corner end, and it says, "Well, love, that was a great attempt. Much better than anything I've seen in the past. So I'll give you applause for that." And you hear a very faint.
What? I can't hear you. Give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and summon my spectral weapon on the other side of the door and just bash the lock.
Okay. What's the spectral weapon this time? Just curious.
What's up?
What's the spectral weapon this time?
We'll just make it a hammer.
Okay. You can roll me, I guess, damage. How do you miss hitting a lock? That's pretty impossible.
Impossible?
Yeah.
I don't think that's grammatically correct.
It's greater than impossible.
Okay, so it's a D8 plus 4.
Yep.
That'd be 12.
12
I
damage,
can't.
wow. Okay, that's a lot of damage. So you summon this spectral hammer, and it smashes it pretty much tears a lock off of its holster. Whoever bought this lock apparently did not shell out an extra 10 gold or something to get, like, the sturdy stuff. So it just kind of clatters to the ground, and your door swings open without too much resistance.
I walk to the direction of the noise.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that? I
Lannon,
couldn't hear you through the cage.
Of course. Lannon, are you following suit?
I mean, what the fuck else am I gonna do? Stay in a broken room?
I mean, yes.
No.
That is an option. Okay, well. Whatever. Okay. So you both sort of make your way down this hallway, and you make it to the end cell door, and you see what looks to be like a human woman, and she is sort of half stooped on her own jail cell. Like, her arms are woven between the bars, and her chin is resting against that arms, and she looks to you guys with this fiercely freckled face, like, holy crap, this is the most freckles you've probably ever seen in your lifetime, which is rather appropriate because her hair is also like well, not freckled. I was gonna say like super duper red, like the torchlight, but the torches are red or purple and blue, so that kind of is a moot point. But no, ginger and freckles. Yeah, ginger freckles, good combination. And she sits up a bit as she sees you guys come over. She's like, "Oh wow, that was unexpected. But good show. I certainly enjoyed it."
Oh, well, thank you.
And she smiles and she looks between the two of you, and then she stops on you, Lannon, and she says, "Now, stop me if you've heard this one before, but I'm pretty sure I remember a face like Love."
I would hope so. I mean, I'm kind of royalty.
And she's kind of squinting at you, and then she snaps her fingers and she says, "Oh, that's right. You played blackjack with me, didn't you?"
Oh, this is her. Okay.
This is not a very funny joke.
And she laughs and she holds out her hand and she says, "I don't think we ever got a proper introduction, Your Highness."
Well, I'm not royalty, but I'm Lobe.
Lobe, the ultimate cock blocker.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to lower the volume when going back to editing that. God.
Yeah, I guess so. So my assumption, so what was going to happen was that she reached out her hand to take Lannon's, and then Lobe's giant meaty hand just kind of takes it instead, and you just start shaking her like a maraca.
Sure.
Okay. And she's like, oh wow, okay. Lobe, you said, nice to meet you, and she sort of pulls back that hand, waves it a bit, not expecting that like hand-crushing handshake. And she says, well, you can call me... let's go with Lucy for now. I sort of am partial to that one. And she looks over at you, Lannon, and she says, I mean, you could feel free to do an introduction as well, but I pretty much know who you are already, Blackjack.
Lannon just shrugs like, hey!
So, not to sound like an ungrateful companion, but what exactly are you doing here? I didn't expect the Prince of Smoldeven, or his companion, I suppose, to be this south.
We were going on a little expedition to find this thing called the Astral Puddle. And then some asshats in robes came along and knocked us the fuck out.
And they ruined my sandwich!
Oh,
Lannon-
you poor baby.
Lannon pats him on the back and is like, it's okay. We'll get you a better sandwich, don't worry.
It was so good! Didn't even get to try it.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Well, at least now that you're out and about, you can exact some revenge if you feel like it. Or, you know, and she kind of looks down at her own cell block like, maybe you'd like some help with that?
I mean, Lannon's already picking the lock. The best
Oh,
he can.
like she goes to say that, and he's like, what? I can't hear the sound of tumblers. Okay, I guess roll me dexterity? Is that what picklocking is for? I think that's what we said
Probably.
picklocking is for.
More than likely.
More than likely.
That is a 17.
Roll me again, son, and take the lower of those two.
Oh. Did you say disadvantage?
I did now.
Fine.
Please tell me it was nat 1.
God fucking. Yeah.
Okay, here's my
Are you
question.
okay down there?
Here's my question. What were you using to pick this lock?
He found like a nail on the floor, I guess.
The
All
other
right.
lock.
I mean, it's in pieces.
Okay, so you kind of found like a rusty nail on the ground. You went to go pick this lock, and
Yeah, that didn't work.
as she's sort of saying like, you could totally help me out. You're like already jimmying this thing, like trying to get this lock out, and the nail kind of snaps and cuts you, and I need you to take a damage and also roll me some Constitution saves because tetanus is a
Constitution?
thing.
Oh.
Because tetanus is a thing in this world.
Alright. Now,
We call
is
it fantasy.
Now, is it Constitution at disadvantage? Because that seems to be the word of the day here.
Yep.
God, why are you like this? Alright. It's a 15 total.
That's still some good constitution. So this nail sort of just jabs you, and it sure smarts, but aside from that, you feel okay.
Alright.
She says, "Oh, love, are you all right? That looked like it hurt."
It's a little nick. I look at my thumb, it's bleeding a bit, I guess.
Oh dear.
Is
You
this
know-
door as strong as the other door?
I mean, yes.
Oh.
She says, "Oh dear. Well, this could be problematic." Boys, I know you probably want to do the good thing, and don't get me wrong, I would love to get out of this cell as much as you, but, it might be best if you just, continue on with your adventure. I'm probably not worth the headache.
Do you know where the kitchen is?
God damn it, Lord. This is not a time to eat.
I can't
Maybe she knows.
I can't exactly say I do, love. Sort of been down in this section of their base for a good... Oh gosh, how long has it been? How long has it been since that, game we had there, Blackjack?
Like... month and a half?
Okay, we'll go with that then. But listen, if you happen to run into these people again, maybe if one of them has, per se, a coin that seems to grant them immeasurable power, maybe just, like, take that away from him? That would be great. But aside from that, you should probably just get out of here while you can.
Alright, Lannon's a little concerned about a coin with immeasurable power?
Okay, what do you want to do about it?
I guess just be like, I suppose. Just shake her hand or take her hand and say, we'll be back for you. Don't worry. And
Well, I doubt that, but it's not your fault.
Do you want me to smash the lock?
Well, you can sure give it a try there.
Alright, swing
she,
the
like-
spectral hammer.
She's like, okay, well, and she, like, immediately beelines away from the door, like something really bad might happen. Alright, roll your damage. You hit this door with no problem. Again, that'd be ridiculous if I made you take a disadvantage against that.
listen, bitch.
8.
It doesn't quite... I mean, don't get me wrong, this spectral hammer sure does a number on it, but it looks like it needs, like, one good more wallop before it comes off. And you see, Lucy sort of half uncover her face. She's like, wow, alright, well, that went a little better than I thought.
And second swing.
Okay,
10.
we're going to roll the dice again. Excellent. Good lord, your friend is a bigger gambler than you are. Yep, so go ahead and roll for hit again.
10.
Okay, yeah, no, that thing dissipates into, like, dust. Little rusty pieces of dust.
There we go.
And the door swings open. And Lucy looks to you two and she says, well, that was lucky.
Well, see you later. And Lobe starts heading up down the hall.
Okay, then. And she calls back, well, I mean, I wouldn't exactly... But he's already gone at this point. So she looks at you, Lannon, and she says, I mean, I would go catch up to your friend. It's not exactly like this place isn't guarded, or there aren't traps. But,
You want to get out of
Yeah.
that cell?
I mean, and you see her bite her lip, and she's kind of, like, twirling a strand of red hair between her fingers, and she says, look, Blackjack, I would rather not accidentally get you two killed, so I'll wait here, put some distance between you two. Sounds like, yeah, no, that definitely sounds like the best option, at least right now.
Okay then. If you want to find your way out, just follow the trail of bodies. And Lannon leaves.
I'll make sure to do that. Okay. So you two are now making your way out of the jail cell, or I guess the prison area. And, Lobe, are you just kind of, like, charging without any sort of, like, caution to wind or some such?
He's looking for revenge for a sandwich. He's gonna take all of their stuff and make a bigger sandwich.
So the answer is yes, we're not being very cautious here. So Lobe, you're like going up some of these sandstony stairs. The theme of darkness sort of continues. You get a couple of those ancient blue-purple flamed lanterns.
Oh, I should probably take one of those with me, because I
Okay,
can't see
we take-
very well.
Okay, so you take one of those with you.
Just as a logical thing.
Yeah, that's a logical thing. And so you're making your way sort of up these spiral steps, and you enter into a room that looks fairly abandoned. Like, there seems to be a fair amount of equipment in here. Like, you see a couple sets of boxes and looks to be some kind of weapon rack. But whoever was in here, or whatever was in here, was very quickly evacuated. And you don't quite know why until you step into that room, because I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Is Lobe dexterous?
We'll find out. Lannon, if you're sort of walking with more of a caution, I will not make you throw this dex save, because Lobe is in front of you and we'll show you.
7.
Dangerous.
Ooh.
Okay. So Lannon, you round about this spiral staircase, and you see Lobe take one step into this room, and the entire fucking floor gives out underneath him, and now he is falling.
Whoopsie!
No, it's more like whoopsie.
Is it possible for me to try and catch him?
You can do it with the dex.
Yay! Oh, that's a...
That's not a good?
It's a 10.
Oh. I mean, that's kind of a good.
It's in the middle.
I'm gonna need you to now make me, like, a strength save to see if you can actually hold this man up. And
Ooh,
not
I can
fall
do
into
that!
him. Okay.
That's a lot better. That's an 18.
Okay, that's much better. So you round into this room and you watch as Lobe sort of through this super ancient, warped, gross, disgusting floor, and you dart forward and, like, Indiana Jones style slide across your stomach and grab him before way into the pit.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, now you're just kind of hanging there.
I'm gonna try to pull him up.
Okay. Make me athletics then. Lobe, if you want to assist him, you can also.
I assume that was also roll athletics.
Yeah.
You kind of cut out, but
It's okay. You know what I mean.
yeah.
I mean, unless you don't want to help Lannon.
Just
Athletics.
kind of go with the dangle.
That's a 15 for athletics.
Okay.
17.
Okay, yeah. Between your twos, you manage to sort of worm your way out of this situation. And you're both now back on solid ground. You see a nice lobe-shaped hole in the floor, and there seems to be cracks sort of radiating out from that spot, letting you know that the rest of the floor actually might be super garbage as well.
Alright, so the theme of this mission is tread carefully. Got that, Lobe?
Alright. Well, I guess we go the other way.
Unfortunately, the other way just so happens to be back downstairs to the prison. I mean, you can go back down that way, but this seems to be the only path to go at the moment.
Intuition says go forward.
Intuition says go forward, but a little
Okay,
critical
I
thinking says spider climb across the walls.
Do you
I
have
don't have spider climb.
I was about to say.
No,
I
I
don't
mean,
think anyone.
like, alright. What are the walls made of? Like brick, I'd assume?
It's like this sandstone that seems to be like worn away from time and or by man's hand.
Okay. Is it possible for me to find somewhere to grip on?
I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy, but it's definitely possible.
Alright. I'm one of the princes of Smolderman. Possible's all I need.
Okay, just so we're clear.
Alright, what do I gotta roll?
So alright, let me paint the scene a little better here. So we've got this room.
Yeah.
That's probably about 20 or 25 feet across.
Okay.
So you've got your walls, your little sandstone walls to work with that. Yes, theoretically you could climb across, but it's not going to be easy.
Okay.
And you have sort of these boxes and weapon racks. Again, that sort of look half abandoned, like someone was going to set something up in here and then realized, oh no, the floor is literally quicksand. Not literally, but, well, maybe it is. You don't know that yet. Yet. But, seem to opt out of that possibility. So, you do sort of have these half-abandoned weapon crates and whatnot.
Cool. Weapons. I love them.
Weapons!
Taking a look at the ground to see what seems to be the most stable.
Totally. Roll me perception. And I was gonna say roll with
9.
disadvantage. Yeah, okay, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Lobe, you take a look at this ground, and, Boris, at least to your guesstimation, this ground is not stable. That one particular patch of ground was not very thrilled about you walking across it, so you just assume the rest of the ground will feel similarly.
Alright. Let me see if the book has something like this.
Good old Jesus book, giving us solutions since BC times.
Oh.
Is that what it is?
Specifically, if this spell I have allows this thing to move that I can make.
What spell are we contemplating?
Well, I can make a Guardian of Faith, which it says it hovers.
Ooh.
So
I mean, if it
maybe I can
says
take
it
a ride.
hovers. I was gonna say, yeah,
Well,
if it
I don't know
says
if I
it
can
hovers.
move though. That's my issue.
Oh. What is it called? Guardian of Faith?
Yeah, I'm looking in the book right now.
Cool beans. Lannon, you sort of see Lobe pawing through his book, trying to see if there is something he can do. Did you want to try and enact your idea of running across the wall like a ninja, I assume?
Wait, how big is the hole in the floor? And how
Like I said, how deep or how big?
how
like
big?
wide?
Like across?
We're gonna say 5 or so feet. I'm gonna be generous to Lobe's circumference.
Would it be possible for me to make a running jump to the other side?
Well, given that the other side is 25 feet,
I have a speed of 35 feet.
I mean, that's impressive and all. But that's like trying to clear a canyon. You know
It doesn't
what I mean?
say it can move. It doesn't say it can't move.
I mean, that's true.
Semantics!
Semantics. So here's what I'm gonna say. If you want to try and jump it, you totally can, but this has got to be like an amazing up there in the numbers jump if you want to try and vault it.
Would that be athletics or acrobatics?
You can argue either or.
Athletics.
Okay, so as Lannon is sort of stepping back, getting ready for this jump, Lobe, are you preparing Guardian of Faith?
Well, can it move?
Command space of your choice. You can see within range. It does just say that it occupies a space. So I guess probably doesn't move to the extent you want it to. I mean, maybe he can catch you and then throw you. Oh, like a big old sack of potatoes.
Man, so much food in this episode.
I know! What's up with that? Are we hungry?
I had chicken nuggets, but
I
whatever.
guess not then.
Anyway, running long jump.
Okay, do it!
Nothing else, I'll summon Guardian of Faith underneath him.
Just catch him, just in case.
Kat, fun fact, that was a natural 20.
Yo! That's that thing I wanted! Okay.
Hey! So that makes
Hey.
it 26 with athletics.
No, screw it. That's a natural 20. I'm not gonna argue that.
Yay.
Lannon, you make this running leap, and it's like, I imagine it goes in slow motion. You just have like this majestic swan pose, like, yeah! And you touch down on the other side of this room, spin around on your heel, and kind of hold out your hands and say, "Yep, I just did that."
Lobe gives a little tiny applause.
Yeah.
And on this other side, there is a door, and you can feel free to open that door if you so desire, or figure out how to get Lobe across. That's also an option.
Let's figure out how to get Lobe across.
All right, cool beans.
So how's that Guardian of Faith coming along?
How's that only rope we have in our book of tricks?
Well, we don't have anything.
I know. How awkward is
We
that?
are without any things and stuff.
I'll say this. Let's give you a little bit of a leeway. Lannon, when you hopped over, you are sort of close enough to see some of these boxes and barrels and abandoned knickknacks. So if you want to sort of rifle through those and see if you can find anything to help out, you can do that.
Looking for rope and weapons.
Ropes and weapons! Okay.
So I assume perception?
Yeah.
Alright, that's a 14.
And 14. I mean, you definitely find some rope.
Yes!
Some kind of crappy weapons, like, you know, a scimitar, daggers, a little baby crossbow.
Any axes? Like,
No.
a polearm? Quarterstaff? Fuck. Alright. Well, rope time.
Rope time! Wait, what do you mean rope time? What are you gonna do with this rope?
Hang myself. No, either make a tightrope that
Ooh,
he
that'll be fun.
that he could walk across, or figure out a way to stick it into the ceiling so he can jump and swing.
Oh my god. And I'm sure Lobe is thrilled by both of the options.
Lobe?
I mean, I'm not much of an acrobatic, but
The man can swing, though. Okay, so like as you're discussing these sort of theoretical things, Lannon, I want you to make a perception check.
Oh, fuck. Alright. This can only end well. That's a 20.
Jesus, again?
Not natural 20. 20 total.
Okay. Well, I was about to do a surprise thing, but I guess we're not anymore. You hear on the other side of the door a commotion of sorts. Like, you hear a couple people go back and forth, like, so, wait, did anybody else hear that? And it kind of somebody, like, hitting two pieces of metal together. And did anybody check on the prisoners at all? And then the sound of, like, feet coming towards you.
coming towards Lannon or coming towards me?
I mean, not you. It'd be really weird if they were coming towards Lannon. I guess by proxy, also coming towards. They're gonna come through that door literally at any minute.
Alright, Lannon has an idea.
I'm sure he does.
He says, Lobe, hide.
Okay. I walk down the stairs.
And I'm setting up the rope to trip them into the hole that Lobe made.
Oh god. Well, you know that hole's on the other side, right?
Is there any kind of gap?
I mean, no. It's just
No.
it's a floor that you assume is entirely weak in infrastructure.
Well, I mean, if I can trip them at all, then they'd fall through the floor.
It's true. I'm just letting you know they're not gonna fall through a hole. They're just gonna fall onto the ground, and maybe that ground will.
Alright. Well,
Alright,
still
cool.
setting up my trip.
Let's see here. I'm gonna need Lannon to do me stealth then. Lobe, I'm not gonna bother because you're so far away and you literally just went downstairs that I'd be amazed if anyone could see you.
Stealth. Okay, stealth is dexterity.
Yep.
Oh, please.
Actually, I don't even have Guardian of Faith.
Oh, well
I
then.
don't know why I have that.
Screw that idea. Nobody cares.
Alright.
I was looking at it and I was like, okay, it's a 4th level spell. Maybe I can make 2 of them. But I actually don't get it to level 7 because I was like, I don't have
Aw.
any 4th level slots. How am I having this spell? That's what
How do I have this?
It's because
Cat.
I don't have
Cat,
I
my
got you.
dice love me today.
Is that a nat 20?
No, but it's a total 18.
Okay, cool. So I assume maybe you just like hide behind the door, get ready to like trip these fools or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So the door swings open and it's your friendly neighborhood cloaked figures again.
Yay.
And they seem to have there's 3 of them again, may or may not be the same 3 who, you know, bum rushed you in Florence, who's to say. And one of them is holding a crossbow, and one of them is holding this like a sword, kind of like a sword shield combination of sorts, and you know, one of them just seems to have a wand. And they're
Fair.
looking around the room, and the guy with the sword and shield starts to take a step forward, but his buddy, whose weapon I literally a crossbow guy's like, wait a second, what's that on the ground? And they sort of kick out the rope trap that you made, and then they immediately turn to the right and they see, what the hell? And I need you to roll initiative.
Oh, fuck.
You two, Lobe, get in on this action. Oh shit.
Okay.
I mean, you can also opt out, but you know.
Would he be like, Lannon, did it work?
You know what, Lobe? I'm gonna say no. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 9.
Alright,
Nice.
surprise round.
Why is it a surprise round?
Because my dice love me.
Is it a nat 20 again?
I'm not kidding. Oh my god.
Alright, then I guess Lannon will get a surprise round. But give me like half a second.
Alright.
Okay, so we got you. We got you. And we got guy said Oh, wand face. Lobe, you said you got a 9?
Yeah.
That's exciting. You'll do wonders with that 9.
All
Oh,
the
I
things you can do.
Alright, well, while I'm getting all these now set up, I guess surprise round for Lannon. So they turn and they're like, wait, what the hell? And now you can make your
Alright, cool. I want to disarm the person with the wand.
own. Okay.
Because that's probably my biggest enemy right now.
I mean, yes, it probably is. So roll me that attack. Do it at disadvantage.
Alright. Okay, so that's plus strength. 14.
Yeah, no, that's gonna hit him. He's kind of a
Wimp.
wizard. Yeah.
Alright. So, what? Do I just throw his wand out of his hand?
Yeah, I think I just did that whole encounter wrong, but we'll go with it for now. We don't have a lot of time. So how are you disarming him? Just curious, because you don't actually have weapons up. I'm thinking about it.
I was just gonna go for, like, probably
Stab him with his own wand.
No, probably just, like, grab his arm and, force it to let go.
Ah, okay, so we actually want to do, like, a strength contest here, not a actual hitting to attack somebody dealio.
Yes.
Gotcha. So let's try that again real quick. I'm gonna roll for him, you roll for you, roll a disadvantage.
I got a 15.
He got a 16. So, you lunge forward and you grab this, dude's hand and you're, like, trying to shake the wand free, and he's like, ah, what? Let go! And you both start stumbling around a bit, and he manages to kind of get you at the edge of the door where supposedly the floor is super weak. So that's a fun little problem we seem to have here. But that was your surprise round, so now you can go again. You are now dangling sort of at the corner, or at the edge of this sturdy floor. What do you want to do?
And the dude with the wand is kind of, like, right next to me, right?
He's, like, looming over you, like you have a hand in your hand, but he's kind of got the upper hand, so he's, like, trying to push into.
Alright, I'm gonna use his own weight against him and attempt to just toss him in onto the weak floor.
Okay, roll me the strength! Or roll a disadvantage.
Oh, thank God. 17.
He got 18.
Fucking God! I'm literally like...
You're like one off every time. So you sort of get into this wrestling match with this wizardy character, trying to use his weight to sort of flip him over. And I mean, you do manage to flip him over. The problem is he then uses your momentum to flip you over, and you both go spilling out into this supposedly super weak floor, and you, like, crash against this mountain of boxes. Weirdly enough, the floor doesn't give way. You just kind of have this whole box collapsing situation on you. So I'm gonna need you to make, like, a dexterity saving throw.
Alright.
He is 2.
Still fine, hopefully. 16.
16. Okay, so you crash into these boxes, and you see they're about to crash in on you, and you sort of pull out of the way, or you, like, let me think. He's on top. Okay, so you two are still sort of on top of each other, and you see these boxes coming, so you roll him on top, and he gets hit with, like, this cavalcade of boxes that seem to be full of various leather bits of armor. Like, not even fully constructed leather armor, but just, like, bits that were going to be made into a set of armor. And, you know, he's not looking super good. He, like, gets hit with these boxes. He's like, stop it! What is this hell? And now it's Crossbow Guy's turn.
Oh,
And
God.
he's watching all this. And, Lobe, have you made yourself known, or are you still hiding at this point?
Well, he told me to hide, so I'm currently hid.
Okay, so you're hid. So he's gonna try and take a shot then at Lannon in this hot cavalcade of a mess. Well, he rolled a 4. I don't think it's gonna do much. Okay, so Lannon, you, like, roll this guy on top of you. He gets smashed by boxes. You push him off, and you manage to stand up, and before you can realize, hey, the floor's not giving out beneath me, you hear this sound, and one of the crossbow bolts sticks into a box next to your head.
Huh. Nice try.
Nice try, jackass! Then we have the sword and shield guy, who saw all these shenanigans happen, and he is going to take a running leap towards you. He manages to sort of jump off of the floor near the doorway, and he kind of crouches and rolls onto the flooring you're at, and now he's in front of you. And looks like he's ready to go.
Fuck.
Lobe, it is now your turn. You're kind of like watching all this nonsense go on as you're ducked behind the corridor.
I guess we will go with... I don't know. So how far away are they?
So they're about, let's see, if the room's 25 total, we'll give them about like 15, 20 feet away from you. And by them, I should clarify, Lannon, the sword and shield guy, and the wand guy are about 15, 20 feet away from you, and the crossbow guy is the full 25 feet away.
Alright, let's go caution to the wind. We're gonna just kind of sprint and try and leap at the guy close. I assume it's the sword and shield guy who's doing tumbly stuff. We'll see if I can just leap at him.
Okay, roll me athletics. But roll me at disadvantage.
Why are you always giving us disadvantages? Is it because it's dark?
That would be, well, no, because Lobe has a lantern. That wouldn't make any sense.
Then why
Plus, you got disadvantage in the daytime, remember? You were on Florence, and you still got disadvantage.
Oof, 6.
6? Okay. So you go for this running leap, and unfortunately you seem to hit a patch of ground that, again, does not seem to like your weight proportions. And you start to fall through. Make me dexterity saving throw.
17.
Yeah, no, you do manage to, like, grab part of the floor. Like, you're falling through this hole, and your hand reaches out, and you grab the floor, which seems to be just stable enough to keep you afloat. For how long? We'll find out, I guess. Now we're going to move on to the wand dude, who's going to stand up, and he is going to... Well, you know what? I always make an assumption it's a he. She's going to point her wand at you, Lannon, and say, what's something cool that she could say right now? She's like, you know what? Usually I'd have something cool to say at this moment. I just don't. Fuck you. And she's going to fire off magic missile.
Oh, God.
So just to remind you all and the audience, magic missile is not something exactly you could block. These 3 magical, glowy, sparkly darts shoot out from her wand, and they assault your body without hesitation. I am going to that dabblage. I need you to take 9 points of magical missile damage.
Oh no, I still have 39 health.
And I think that'll be the end of her. So now we're back up to you, Lannon. You just got hit in the face with some magic missile.
Could I go for, like, a throat punch kind of thing?
Sure.
Cool.
You are kind of on, like, limited options.
I am on very limited options.
Let's see how this goes.
Alright. I assume disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Who are you trying to throat punch, by the way?
Wizardy girl.
Okay, cool beans.
That's fun. Total of 13.
Yeah, that does manage to hit, but there's something I gotta resolve real quick, because as you sort of, try and go to throat punch this woman, you still have a sword and shield boy to worry about. So... he's probably not gonna hit. I don't think a 15 hits you.
I mean, you said I got stripped of my armor.
Oh, that's right, you don't have your Mega God armor, don't you?
No, I don't.
So, let me take that back. 15 probably hits you, doesn't it?
By 1.
Okay. Then, as you go to throat punch this lady, you get shield smashed in the... Let me think. He probably, like, spins around and smashes you in the side of, like, your rib cage with this very heavy shield. And I need you to take 4 points of damage, but you could still, go to throat punch. I don't even know how this works. I guess that's unarmed attacking, right?
Yeah, so that's a D4, I
Yep.
believe. Yeah. Oh, at least this is fine. That's 4.
Woo!
Would that be plus strength?
Yes, technically.
So 7 damage.
Okay, so you get shield bashed in the side, and you still manage to carry your momentum over to punch this wizard in the throat.
Cool.
And she staggers back, and she's like choking and gasping. Her wand sort of clatters out of her hand. She's got both of her hands on her throat. She's like, "You fucking dick! Who does that?"
And as my second attack action, I'm gonna just try to steal that shield away from him.
Okay.
Give me some form of armor.
Sounds good, kid.
Strength contest,
Roll
I
me.
assume?
Roll me at disadvantage.
Starting to go my way. My lowest, give me a total of 18.
Alright, don't scream.
I fucking swear! If it's 19! I'm done. Goodbye. No. No.
Oh my god. Oh.
God damn it! I hate
So
you,
you
Cat.
go-
I hate
So
you.
Sorry. Not really though. That's really funny. So you go to grab this full shield, and you struggle for a minute, and he shakes you off, and he like pulls you out deeper into the deeper in the sense that you're about to crash into Lobe right now. But I want to stop for a hot second because I would like somebody to come in and hopefully save the day. Hey, Kennam, do you have any special things that can save the day right now?
I have so many spells.
Oh, God.
Thank
Do you have a mic spell? Please fix that.
Is my mic too loud?
It's very terrible, actually.
This mic sounds fine to me.
Does it? It sounds... Alright, I'll take your word for it then. Yeah, so Kennam, do you want to MacGuffin your way into this situation?
Is Lannon falling?
Lennon
Yeah,
is
he's
not.
currently being, like, thrown to the air right now. Lobe is dangling for... You've got these 3 other fools. Sword and shield guy, a crossbow guy, and a wizard chick.
Who got
Okay.
throat punched?
Final question, how high up are we?
How high up are we?
Yeah,
deep
like
is the pit?
how deep is this pit?
Oh, well, I mean, from your angle, you can't really see how deep the pit is that Lobe would be thrown into, or fall into.
Endless.
Everyone's falling into this pit at this point?
Everyone is going to, yes, it is terrible.
Okay, Kennam's diving into the pit with them.
Oh
What?
my god. Rope trick?
Rope trick!
Okay, that explains a little better. So I guess the scene then is Lannon, you just got shook off by this sword and shield guy. You're flying through the air, you crash into Lobe, and both of you are about to fall into this pit. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Kennam appears. Like literally, you fall into this pit, and then you turn, and Kennam's there, and he's like, "Sup, guys?" And yeah, what'd you say you did?
I'm gonna dive in, grab onto them, and cast rope trick, because I still have Lannon's rope from the last session.
Okay. And,
Using my tattoo for this, by the way.
Okay, so and how does this work? Like, what's the scene here?
So the ideal scenario here is I'm gonna dive after whoever's. I guess they're both falling, so I'm gonna try and grab onto both of them, pull out this rope, and cast it so it goes into a straight line upwards, and people can just grab onto it.
Okay. I feel like I've tortured. I was gonna say I feel like I've tortured you enough today. So yeah, he does this. You all grab onto the rope, and yeah, congratulations, you are now not dead. Hooray! Huzzah! Hooray!
Most excellent.
Hey guys, what I miss?
Shit's not going my way today.
They
So-
ruined my sandwich, Kennam. My sandwich.
Those bastards.
So Kennam, roll me initiative. You are now in this fight.
All right, grabbing out my Kennam dice. It's my dice I use for Kennam.
No shit. I got that.
Note to
I think-
self: keep a spare set of everything inside Rope Trick.
Actually, everything inside Rope Trick pops out once the spell's over.
Really?
But you could
So
probably
it's
see.
still falling.
Well, no, Rope Trick still goes. It lasts for a while. I think it lasts for an hour, but
Oh, cool.
anything that's inside of it, once the spell ends, gets popped out of it.
Oh fuck. Alright.
Yeah, it's not your personal dimension of holding shit.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
initiative is a 9, by the way.
Okay.
We could see if we can get JM to hold that stuff, though, because she jumps in and out of that dimension.
We'll work on that. So, Kennam, that was kind of your free action. My assumption is you're gonna pull everybody out onto solid foundation.
They're pulling themselves out. I ain't got that strength.
Okay, fair enough. So then you all kind of pull yourselves out of this hole. Much to the behestment of these other three. The wizard especially, who is still sort of like choking and gagging, she looks up and she's like, fucking hacks! Call hacks, what the fuck? And,
Kennam has joined the session.
and you manage to hop onto what seems to be another solid patch of ground. Around here seems to be an empty weapons rack, a couple of chests with some miscellaneous goods, and this is about maybe 15 or so feet away from where the sword and shield guy is and where the wizard chick is. Oh, excuse me. So, with that fun little thing over, we're gonna go to the crossbow guy, who is equally confused because he's pretty sure he saw 2 people go down into that hole, and now 3 people came out, and he's like, what the hell? Whatever. And he's gonna cock his crossbow and fire it at the newcomer, Kennam.
Well, I'm boned.
Does a 16 hit?
Dude, anything above a 10 hits.
Question.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
So, alright. Yes, I know I don't have my shield, but I'm close to him, so could I still, like, use my body to impose
Can my body
disadvantage?
be his shield?
Can it?
I don't see why not. I mean, you will take the damage. You have to understand that.
Okay.
Okay, then, yeah. Lannon, you will then take this hit for Kennam. Let me find my D8 real quick. Oh, fuck! And there goes all my dice. Excellent. Well, that wasn't a lot of damage anywhere, so you take 1 piddly bit of damage. So, like, this crossbow, you hear it go... And before it hits you, Kennam, you see Lannon, like, step in and move his arm, and now he just kind of has a fun little arrow sticking out of his arm as a cute little accessory.
You said piddly bit, but that's not a number, so...
Well, I thought I said 1. 1 is equal to tiddly bit in this case.
Cool.
Next up is let's see, who's on my roster? Sword and Shield, who is equally also confused because, 2 go in, 3 come out. And,
because it's usually 2 go in, 1 come out.
yeah, thanks for explaining the joke. But he's gonna try and do a running jump over where you guys are. Yeah, that's an 18. So he, again, like, clears this space between the gaps, tumbles onto your space, and now he has the sword and shield ready to, like, essentially kick your ass. Like, he's ready to go again.
Could I attempt to Sparta kick him in as a reaction?
I mean, you're gonna have to wait for your turn.
All right. Thought we could
But Kennam, it is now your turn. You have Lannon standing sort of in front of you as a makeshift shield. You have Lobe beside you. You have this sword and shield guy who's now also in front of Lannon and looks like he's about ready to cut him in two. You've got the wizard chick who's about 15 feet away, still kind of choking and gasping, and a crossbow dude 25 feet away who's reloading his bolt.
All right, and none of them are on the same patch of ground.
As you guys?
Yeah, just in general, like they're all on different patches of ground.
Oh yes, they are all on different spots in this room.
Dang. All right. Let me just quickly make sure I've got my spells all set up. Okay, so that wouldn't help. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. You said there was a weapon rack.
Next to you, yes. It's pretty much empty at this point.
So there's nothing on it?
There's, like, maybe a spear, but, like, a really shitty spear.
That's okay. I want to cast Catapult on the spear.
What?
Catapult is the first level spell that is essentially Mage Hand's aggressive brother.
Okay.
I can telekinetically launch an object at somebody. Let me pull up the exact wording of it, but
that's like the basics.
You choose an object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range that isn't being worn or carried. The object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in the direction chosen before falling to the ground, stopping early as if it impacts against a solid surface. They have to make a dexterity saving throw or take 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god!
Jesus fuck!
That's a lot of damage. Okay.
So
Do you have to roll anything, or it's just me?
They make a dexterity save. They have to beat.
Okay.
So he has to beat a 15.
Beat a 15? Okay. Yeah. Who are you hitting? I should clarify.
I want to hit Mr. Sword and Shield.
Okay. So let's see. That's the first roll. That's the second roll. What'd you say I have to beat?
15.
Okay. So, you like flick your wrist and the spear sort of clatters against the weapon racks trying to get free. And the sword and shield guy looks over and he's like, "Ha! You think some stupid stick is gonna..." And then the thing, like, jabs straight through his what the heck is it called? It's not a shield. Shoulder, there we go. Sounds the same.
Buddy.
So, roll me that damage.
Alright. 6, 8, and 7. So 21 damage.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of damage. Okay, so yeah, this spear goes, like, straight through his shoulder, and the force is so intense that he even, like... I think I gotta roll something for this. Hold on a second.
Jeez.
Yeah, okay. He, like, staggers back, and it looks like he's just about to fall off of what you've equivalent to the safe zone, but he manages to catch himself, and he looks at this... Well, I mean, he's been shish kebabbed, essentially, in the shoulder. He's like, "Ah! What the... Lucky my ass! This thing is bullshit!" And you see him, like, start fumbling with something around his neck, and you hear the wizard, who's finally getting her voice out, be like, "What? No! Don't take it off!" And you see him, with a lot of pain and exertion, like, rip something off of his neck, like something on a chain, and he throws it to the ground, obviously not with the arm that's impaled with the shoulder. And he's like, "Screw this! I don't need luck to finish these idiots off." And, yeah, he doesn't look really thrilled with you guys right now. We are now moving on to Lobe.
Oh, that was neat. Let me try. I pick up the closest object next to me, and I also whip it at the guy with the shield.
Okay.
Whether
I guess
that be-
I guess
that
it's
be
the
the
weapons
rack?
rack.
Okay. I throw the weapons rack.
Jesus Christ.
One of these things is larger than the other.
Okay.
One of these things just doesn't belong here.
Yes. I'm thinking, should I have him do a dexterity saving throw, or should I just have you try and do an attack roll?
How big is the weapon rack?
It's pretty big.
Then
So
I would have.
I'm leaning towards the ladder. Yeah, okay. He rolls a 6. So you watch him kind of throw this hissy fit. He's like stomping on whatever this chain thing was around his neck, and he looks up, and this weapon rack just smashes into the entirety of his body. So I guess roll me.
Is that an improvised weapon?
Rack. I guess.
Woo! I get bonuses for that.
Oh god, that's right. Okay, roll me that damage.
Point of order here, though. I did roll for my divination important rolls as we were going. I rolled very poorly. I got a 6 and a 1.
Yay! Okay. Anyways, so Lobe, roll me. Okay, yeah, roll me your damage. You said 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you this weapon rack smashes into this guy. The wood just explodes in all directions, and it's just in. Actually, wait. Yeah, it's just enough to push this guy over the edge, and he falls backwards into the floor, and the floor gives out, and then he falls again farther down, and you hear him scream like, "No!"
I wanted that shield.
And, you do hear his body, like, impact on something.
Ooh.
But it sort of sounds like, something is, like, swirling, like, swishing behind him, like, and then whatever screams he did have are gone. Like, he goes silent, and you just sort of hear this weird, it almost kind of sounds like an ocean current, but it's not water. It's very granular sounding.
Sand? Question mark?
I mean, you can do me a roll when it's your turn to figure out what the hell I'm talking about. But it's currently the wand chick's turn, who picks up her wand and has now just watched one of her companions get swallowed up by sand. And she's like, God damn it, Tybus! God, do something right. You do it yourself. And she whips out her wand, and now she's looking at all 3 of you, and she fires off magic missile again, and each of those missiles are coming at you. Each of you, respectively. So...
Well, shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can't block it this time, Lannon.
Alright, fine.
This is...
It's okay.
So 1 damage for Lannon, 3 damage for Kennam, 1 damage for Lobe. You get all hit in the face with the equivalent of a box of glitter. Except Kennam, who gets maybe hit with a box of fireworks.
It's okay. Lannon, don't worry too much, because Kennam's still got about 28 health.
Okay, so we are back up the order with Lannon. You just watched the wizard chick fire off some magic missile. The crossbow guy is, like, very hastily trying to load up his crossbow bolt again. And the sword and shield guy just kind of vanished into sand. Twirling sand.
Lannon's getting a little peeved at nothing going his way today. Other than that, Oh,
I should mention as well that while the shield guy was having that temper tantrum in front of you, Lannon, that weird chain thing that he took off, it's still on the ground. Like, you still see it in front of you.
I'm investigating the shit out of that little pendant thing. Putting it in my pocket.
Okay, wait, are you just gonna, like, pick it up and pocket it? No questions asked?
Pick it up, pocket it, I'll investigate it when we're done with this shit.
Alright, cool beans. So what do you want to do?
I kind of want to try to make that jump again.
Okay.
But, I don't know, considering my train of luck today.
Well, listen, do you believe in your god? And not me, I mean, like, the actual god that Lannon picked.
Yeah, sure. He's gonna make another running jump.
Do it!
Alright, it's another athletics check. Wait, another disadvantage, or...?
Roll me advantage this time.
Ooh! So that's 23 total.
Okay, yeah, you have no problem clearing this jump. You are, like, as majestic as the first time you made this leap, like, one jump and all, and you tumble onto the other side with the wizard, who is now backing up and is like, God damn it! Like, she is not thrilled. by
Alright.
anything that is happening.
That's my first action. I'm gonna turn to the crossbow guy, and with all the intimidation I can muster, I say, "Drop it!"
And if you want, you can roll it with advantage again.
Sweet. Alright, that is 17.
Yeah, he's shaking, and he kind of just watched you again, sort of superhuman clear that jump, wherein clearly you have not been having the best of luck. And he, like, throws his crossbow at the end, he's like, fuck it, I'm not getting paid enough for this! And he barrels through the door like he's out.
Yay!
Kennam, it is now your turn.
Wait, does nobody have their weapons?
No,
I
we're
mean-
all weaponless.
But I'm lost.
It's okay.
Do I have nothing? Because
No,
how
you-
did I
you
pull
can't-
off that rope thing?
No, you came in. You're fine. You have all your stuff.
Wait, but they don't.
No.
They don't. Listen, they don't because they got captured. You do because you suddenly appeared in the bottom of the basement with a lady saying, yo, your friends are getting beat up. Go help them.
Oh. Okay, I think I get you now. All right. How far is Lannon from this sorceress lady?
They're like within duking distance.
So would you say 5 feet?
Yeah, they're ready to throw down.
Lannon, can you take a 5-foot step back?
Okay.
Just like scoots to the left.
Awesome. Because Kennam's not having this shit, and he casts Melf's minute meteors.
I'm sorry, what?
I've
What?
been waiting for this day.
What?
Alright, you create 6 tiny meteors in your space. They float in the air and orbit you for the spell's duration. When you cast the spell, as a bonus action, and on each of your turns thereafter, you can expend 1 or 2 of the meteors, sending them streaking towards a point or points that you choose within 120 feet. Once a meteor reaches its destination or impacts against a solid surface, it explodes. Each creature within 5 feet of the point where the meteor explodes must make a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 fire damage.
Why is it always fire? Why is it always the fire with the solutions? Fine,
Because
fuck you, do
everything
this.
can be solved with fire.
She's rolling a 1, by the way.
What? Wait, no, are you serious?
The fated
Important
rules.
roll. I am so done with this.
Okay.
People are getting their asses handed to each other. Someone just took a bullet for me. Here's my repayment.
I mean,
They rolled a 1.
bullet. Okay, I have a question. When you
Yeah.
activate these portent rolls, is there anything sort of aesthetically that happens when you do this?
I like to think that his eyes get that blue tint from his seed, just a little bit, but
Okay. All right, interesting. Okay, here's what happens. And you said it had, like, regardless of rolling this one or not, you said it had to be a dexterity save.
yes.
And what would that have been?
What do you mean?
What would she have had to beat?
15.
Okay. Okay. So here's what happens. You summon these 4 meteorites. Of course, telling Lannon to, like, all right, like, 2 to the left. We're ending this. This is lame. And you lift up your hand, and your eyes flash blue for just a second. Kind of like you conferring with your god, being like, all right, fate, let's fuck her up. And you, like, speedball I assume all 6 of these meteorites at her.
I think I can only expend up to 2,
Okay, so 2.
but
It's still,
I mean that's still.
still an impressive sight, like these 2 little whizzing meteoric fireballs coming at this chick. And she's looking at this whole scene slowly play out with a face that says, God, I shouldn't have gotten up today. But as you sort of call upon this portent roll, and you're like 100% positive, you're like, yeah, there's no at this. Like, I know it's bad. Something weird happens. These 2 meteorites come at her, and it looks like they're about to hit her. And she ducks. She ducks, and the 2 meteors hit each other, and that's the end of that. She's not hurt. Like, maybe she's got some residual fire, she's got, like, pat off or something, but she's okay. And as this was happening, Lannon, you feel something kind of hot in your pocket.
I swear to God, if it's one of the meteors in my pocket.
It's a hot pocket.
It's a
Delicious.
hot pocket. No. So you feel something
Pizza
hot.
flavor.
You feel something hot, very brief in your pocket. And the minute sort of this impossible scene ends, it stops, like it fades away.
Okay.
So, Kennam, it didn't work.
Kennam's gonna turn to Lobe and go, "Who the fuck are we fighting?"
On that note, Lobe, it is now your turn.
That was weird. Is there a box by me?
Yes, there is.
All right, throw the box at her.
Alrighty!
Throw Kennam.
Throw Kennam! No. I mean, you could if you really wanted to. Okie dokie spooky. Hey, Lannon, can you roll me a reflex save with advantage, please?
You mean dexterity?
Yes. Shh. I didn't say reflex. What's a reflex?
That's a 15.
Okay. So, Lobe, you sort of heft this box of miscellaneous goods over your head, and you overhand chuck it at the wizard lady, who, seems just as surprised that she dodged that attack as Kennam does. And as she sees this box soaring over, she smiles, and again, she, like, rolls out of the way like it's no big deal. And Lannon, you see now this box is sort of coming at you as well, and you duck out of the way, and the box explodes, and it's like a bunch of knickknacks and plateware and just, like random miscellaneous crap. So yeah, Lobe, you missed.
Aw.
I know what's happening here.
And she stands up and she smiles and she says, "Oh my God, it actually works! That idiot!" And she like whips out her wand, and it's like glowing in a way that you're not gonna like too much, Lannon. And she points it at you, and she says, "Looks like luck's on my side, asshole." And she is going to cast a spell at you.
Okay.
Give me like half a second, because all I had for her for some reason was magic missile. Don't ask why. I didn't think she'd live this long is the answer.
Can somebody quickly explain to me how reactions work?
Reactions?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I've got an idea, but it's a reaction for casting time. And, well, I'm not entirely sure how it exactly works.
Break it down for me. What are you thinking?
Well, I have this lovely thing called Counterspell.
Uh-huh.
And if I take a reaction, I can essentially try and interrupt her spell casting.
In this particular instance, I could see that working. I mean, she's trying to cast this super uber spell and you want to interrupt it, so yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So let's quickly check. Yeah, so you attempt to interrupt a creature. If the spell is level 3 or lower, it immediately fails and has no effect. If it's 4 or higher, they have to make an ability check using their spell. Oh, I have to make an ability check using my spellcasting ability, and the DC is equal to 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay,
So,
but if it's...
is it level 3 or lower?
yeah.
Okay, then it's failed.
Okay, so she looks like she's about to cast this thing. She looks at you, Lannon, and she's like, yeah.
And I am out of level 3 spell slots. So,
so guys, get it together. Okay, so she's winding up for this pitch, and she looks at you, Lannon, and she's like, "Guess luck is on my side." And then her wand just kind of, and then it fizzles out, and she lowers it, and she's like, "Okay, what the fuck now?" And she looks over at you, Kennam, and she locks eyes because she sees your hands raised. It's like, "Oh, you're gonna be the first one." And she is going to start kind of making a beeline for the door.
Aren't I in the way of the door?
Kind of. Like, right now, you're in front of her, but her back is to the exit, so she's gonna, like, start making her way over there. Not jumping yet, but, like, getting ready to sort of bounce. So, Lannon, it's back up to you.
Lannon's not happy that she tried to do that, and he's like, "Oh, I don't think so." And I'm assuming that I still have my mother's hand
Of course you do.
Good. Then I'm snapping that necklace off her neck.
Oh shit! Okay. I'm gonna ask you to make a perception though, because she has I know you think you know it's there, but it's still hidden technically. But I will say you can make this perception if you want, with advantage.
Thank you for giving me advantage, because that's a natural 20.
Okay. You pull the necklace off and it breaks her neck in the process. No. So she looks like she's getting ready to jump, and before she does, she stumbles back because you're using Mage Hand to like really just rip at this chain. And she spins around and she sees what you're doing. She's like, no, 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 no! And she goes to grab the chain, but at that point it's too late, and you hear this tick sound, and this chained necklace, whatever the hell it is, flies over to you, and it is now in your hand.
Second action, Lannon's walking towards her, mad as fuck, being like,
I'm sure.
I wouldn't try that again if I were you, and attempts to, like, just knock her prone.
I was gonna say, lay his hands on her person?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Okay. Okay, let's do a strength contest. If you want, you can roll at advantage.
Quick math, that's 24 total.
Yeah, she got a nat 20. So...
Mother of God!
So you go to grab her, and she kind of slips underneath, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, what was that? What was that? Suck it! And she starts, like, clambering up some of the boxes. Kind of look like, with, like, her wand out, she looks like she's about to cast another spell. Like, maybe she's just gonna blow the fucking roof off. Kennam, it is now your turn.
Okay. So, how far away is she?
She's about, 15 to 20 feet away. If you have a specific spell that's like, it has to be either 15 or 20, it'll probably be okay. Like, you're within range.
Well, I have one spell in mind.
Could it be?
I cast Charm Person!
Okay, I know how this song and dance goes. Damn it. No, I can't roll with advantage. Okay.
Roll wisdom. Roll wisdom. You gotta beat a 15.
This is kind of perfect, actually. So, you, Kennam, see her scrambling up these boxes, essentially trying to blow a hole in this place to get out. And you, again, what does that kind of aesthetically look like when you're charming people?
Probably like pink flower petals just waving from his hands.
It's anime as fuck!
Just sparkles everywhere. All the sparkles.
Captain?
Okay, so like...
Sparkles on their face, sparkles on my wand, sparkles just everywhere.
Okay, so you get into like this super sparkly kawaii Desi mode, and you feel something. It's like somebody has put hand on your shoulder, and you kind of seem like somebody's like nodding in approval. And Lobe, since you're next to him, you can see very briefly that his eyes flash blue. And this chick gets up to the boxes, and she looks like she's about to fire off this spell. And she just dead stops where she is. Like, every part of her body goes rigid. And she puts her wand down, like her shoulders go lax, and she turns around, and she looks at you, Kennam, and she says, what do you want me to do? Because she just got a nat failure. That potent roll you did earlier, yeah, because I just rolled it at 1. It was too perfect.
Alright. Could you come down from the boxes?
She does so, and at this point, we are out of initiative. You have once again solved the problem, either with...
Fire or
Why
charming?
not both? Why not both?
I mean,
Both
that's
are
fair.
good.
This is good. But yeah, you're out of initiative. She is now under your control for at least an hour. Completely and utterly under your whim, because like I said, she failed. She failed real hard. that's the sort of the end of that. Good job, kids.
At this point, Kennam's gonna throw his hands up and go, "Can somebody tell me what's going on here?"
They ruined my sandwich, and now the floor's gone.
Well, parts of the floor anyway.
I like how that's the entirety of what Lobe knows.
Lannon, care to chime in here?
These three robed fools they did, kidnap us, whilst Lobe was amidst making the most amazing sandwich I personally had ever seen.
Thank you.
And they took us down to the prison, they stripped us of our armor, weapons, and whatnot, and now we're here trying to make a great escape.
I'm sorry, miss. I don't think I caught your name.
What's that dice roll for?
Oop. No, my dice are just going everywhere because my arm is moving.
Oh, I was like, she's charmed. You don't
I have a lot of dice around my arms, so when I move my...
Okay. She says, "Oh, you can call me Jennifer."
Okay. Where is everyone's, like, equipment? Where did you put my friend's equipment?
I just want to throw out here too, Jennifer is still very much in, like, her black robe attire. You have no idea what she is. And she's still sort of, like, leaned against these boxes. And she says, "Well, we were gonna put it in this room, but then the room sort of collapsed in on itself. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to build a, sort of bunker underneath a river of sand, quicksand, but, you know, it happens. So it's outside, you know, with the rest of our carts and stuff. So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe my other cohort may have taken those carts and left. That's entirely possible. You did scare him quite a bit." And she's looking at you, Lannon.
Ah, fuck.
Well, you guys can ask the questions. You've been here longer, so, Oh, actually, I have one last question. Who's the lady downstairs?
Oh, that's Lucy.
And actually, as you say that, you hear a voice call, "Somebody call my name!" And you see Lucy sort of round the corner, like poking her head outside the staircase. She's like, "Wow, I missed a fight, didn't I?"
A little bit.
And she looks over at you, Kennam, and she says, "So I guess you were sort of necessary, huh? Lucky break."
Huh. Luck really seems to be running today.
At least in both sides of the... And then she stops for a second and she says, "Oh, wait a minute. Look, is there any way that we can maybe... I don't want to say frisk her, that sounds a little dirty, but, if we could maybe... Yeah, just relieve her of her, possessions. It'd be in your best interest, trust me."
Hey, you got anything on you?
The wizard, like, she's shaking through her robes. She pulls out, like, an extra wand, a couple of scrolls, some Tic Tacs. She's like, "That's pretty much all I've got."
Tic-tacs
well,
are a thing?
Fantasy Tic Tacs.
Okay.
And she says, "Oh, well, but your, half-elf friend over there sort of already took my necklace, so that's already been relieved." And you see Lucy's expression light up, and she's like, "Wait, you have the necklace?"
I have a necklace.
Can I have a necklace? Oh,
I
wait,
only
I've got a
have
necklace.
two, and
Never
one
mind.
is staying.
Can I know how to get through the room?
Go around?
Yeah, no, Lucy's like, "No, it would definitely be better if perhaps we were all on the same ground."
Stairs?
Well, I mean, there's the prison downstairs. Let me try something. So wait, Blackjack, you know that necklace you said you took?
I have two. Yes.
Could you maybe, discard them? And she's kind of, like, looking down at the handhold.
Why?
Trust me when I say luck is a two-way street, and you want to be on that street.
What's a street?
Don't worry about it. Okay, no, you know what a street is.
Kennam has lived on dirt roads all his life. He ain't got
All
no
right.
clue.
All right. Well,
Well,
let's.
it sounds
why
like
don't we call-
Kennam's away from his mic.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry. I have to go get a charger for my computer.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's her request. Throw it down the pit. What do you do?
I throw the one in my hand down the pit. The one in my pocket is staying. And I don't think she knows about that, unless she can see into my pocket.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say no. She watches you throw this necklace in the pit. She's like, "Huh, good, lovely," and she snaps her fingers. Oh Jesus. Okay, she snaps her fingers, and it looks like one of the stacks of boxes was about to fall over and kind of make a makeshift bridge between you guys, but then they just all suddenly like implode on themselves, like they fall over and they smash to pieces, and some of them fall through the ground. And she's like, "What the shit? I thought I told you to get rid of the necklace."
He empties his pocket.
Really? You couldn't take my word on this? I'm kind of an expert on the subject. And then she immediately covers her mouth and.
I'm sorry?
Nope, don't worry about it.
No.
Hey, look.
No. What was that you said?
No, really, it's fine. We should really focus on.
Catch that cat. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Okay, what she said was, I'll play it again real quick. She said, "Seriously, I'm an expert on the subject," and then she covers her mouth and tries to wave it off like, never mind, I didn't say nothing.
Can I try persuasion to get her to continue what she was saying?
Sure, what are you gonna ask her?
No, go ahead. We're all friends here.
Do you still have that necklace?
I mean, it's in my hand.
Then you have the option to roll advantage. But as you say that, she's like looking at the necklace, she's like, "Don't you dare."
It's as if I have the necklace myself. And my dice love me. Every single time with advantage. I love it. I love it so much. Holy shit, that was a natural 20, so go ahead.
Okay, so you
Stop talking.
kind of ask her like, yeah, you're like, "Come on, we're all friends." And she's looking at the necklace as it's sort of a little bit. She's like, "Don't you dare!" And then something happens, and she kind of snaps to attention. And all in a rush, she's like, "Well, you see, I would be the expert on this because it's sort of my field of, status and all." And then she covers her hand. She's like, "God damn it! I mean me, damn it! I mean shit!"
All I needed to know, and he tosses the necklace into the pit.
Well, now I hope you are a good runner,
Why?
or like living here for the rest of your life.
I mean, I did what you asked. I threw it into
Okay.
the pit.
Are you gonna now try and like jump over to them, or reconvene with the group?
No, I'll jump over to them.
Okay. Roll me at disadvantage.
Yeah, I figured. Athletics, don't fail me now. Alright, 16 lowest.
Okay.
I have a high
so
athletics, and I love it.
you like see her go on edge as you make a running jump. Like, why? What's the problem? And you leave. And she's like, she's covering your eyes, and you land fairly gracefully on the other side. And she looks at her and she's like, "Okay, could somebody carry him for the rest of the time, please? Please, I am begging you." "You're really cute, Blackjack. I'd rather not see you die due to misfortune."
Well, I mean, I could do something, but Lobe, if you don't mind just picking him up, that'd be fine.
Sure, but what's the safe way across?
Oh yeah, you're way the heck over there.
Wait, the heck?
Both of us are.
We're all on the same place.
Yeah, you're all
We're
in the same field at this point.
aren't we?
Yeah, you're all in the room. You're all on the same patch of land at this point. The same patch of floor, I should say.
In that case, I guess I should. I'm gonna expend one of my level 2 spell slots to cast Levitate on Lannon.
Yay! I'm a balloon!
You ain't falling on me.
All right, lovely. Then the rest of you can very carefully make your way across, and I won't make you do all that rolling because you literally have nothing else to do. You just have Jennifer, who's like patiently watching you guys get across, like, you can do it. I believe in you.
So we've got our own cheerleader. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like a super annoying cheerleader.
Oh,
And
one of those.
so you all make it to their side, open the door, and it does seem to be like this at some point seemed to be a stronghold. Very much in disrepair at this point, as evident by the floor giving in on itself. But it's not a very big stronghold, so that's good. You managed to get outside well enough. It's well into the nighttime at this point, and Jennifer is still with you guys. Lucy's kind of rounding out the back. Lannon is still flying, which is great, I'm sure. Looks so...
Like the last campaign, I'm sure we've tied a rope to his leg.
I'm like a
Carried
fleshy
like a
balloon.
That's literally what you were in the last campaign. It was great. So you all make it outside, and Lucy looks to you guys and she says, so what are we doing about that one? And she's pointing to Jennifer.
Hey, Kennam, how long does your spell last?
About an hour.
How long has it been?
I'd give it about that. So, solution time, anybody?
Knock her out until we leave?
I mean, hey Jennifer, do you want to take a nap?
That sounds delightful. And then she hits the ground unconscious.
Wow,
Okay.
power of suggestion.
I'm gonna untie the rope from his leg and tie it around Jennifer.
Okay, cool beans.
Worked for the last guy we charmed.
And, I should mention too, like, as you get outside, you do see that there are a couple of carts at present parked outside of this old abandoned... What did I just call it? It was a really good word. What did I
Stronghold?
call it? Yeah, that's it. One of them definitely seems to be missing, so you just take the assumption that the crossbow guy is just gone. But there is another cart. And Lucy goes over and she says, okay, let's see how this works now that I'm not being completely shanghaied. And she ruffles around the cart a bit. And she calls out, "Ha! I still got it!" And she gestures you guys to come over.
Alright, might as well.
Yeah, sure, why not?
And in this cart, you see, quite miraculously, all of your stuff is there. Your armor, your weapons, and Lobe.
Yes.
You see, amidst all of this, stuff you don't really care about, on a simple plate, perfectly pristine, maybe with like one bite out of it, because some guy seems to have taken a little nibble, is the ultimate sandwich. It is your ultimate sandwich.
Yes.
Lobe sheds a little tear.
And Lucy laughs. She's like, well, I didn't think I'd be that good, but hey, when you got it, you got it.
Lobe begins to eat his sandwich.
Yay! Excellent ending. Oh my goodness. And Lucy turns to you guys and she says, well, I didn't expect to get out quite this way, but I guess I should thank you. But also, and then she looks over at you, Lannon, and she smacks you right across the face. Just...
He stands up straight and says, I deserve that, with a smile on his face.
Mm-hmm. Now, look, I'm sure all of you have a couple of questions. I'm patient enough to at least answer a few of those, at least until your ride gets here.
No.
That's all you guys.
Lobe's enjoying his sandwich.
Lobe's enjoying his sandwich.
Kennam's probably gonna go off and scheme on how we can track down that guy and do with Florence and then flip the cart or something.
I mean, you can ask her about it.
I just want this one moment where you see the guy just driving on his cart and all of a sudden Florence comes out of the nowhere, slams the cart and just keeps moving.
It's almost like Lucy reads your brain. She's like, well, Kennam, if you had a little luck, maybe you got into him again. It's entirely possible.
I'll keep that in mind.
Oh my goodness.
So Lannon wastes a little bit of time, but not really, and asks, "So, you're Tamora?"
She kind of gives like a hand motion. She's in a technical state, I guess. That sort of got botched on that power end, though. Thought I'd come to Gaia to look for someone, and I got a little ambushed, I guess is the right word. So no, I'm not exactly Tamora, but I'm say a little more lucky than you get at times. It's a long and strange story. Kind of embarrassing, actually. You know, being ascended and all. But I have to admit, it's nice being mortal, at least for a little while.
All right, that was my only question.
Wow, really? Not even like what I was doing in Smoldervan, or how'd I get in this situation, or why a goddess such as myself actually became mortal, or upon what procedure that happened?
You have your reasons. I'm not one to dig.
Listen, we're on a grand quest to save the world by finding trees. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Well, I suppose that's one way to put it. And she kind of cocks her head and she says, "Well, it sounds like your ride's going to be here in a little bit, but I guess I should leave you with this." And she gestures over to Jennifer and she says, "If you find any more people like that, I would greatly appreciate you sort of destroying their knockoffs. See, I'm sort of stuck here on Earth until I can find my actual coins. So the more of those you destroy, the more of my power I get back, and the higher percentage chance I'll actually run it."
All right, will do.
And don't worry too much about her. She again points to Jennifer. She's like, "I've got a cart, so I'll just drop her off somewhere. But you boys look like you have to go do something a little more time-consuming, so I'll leave you to it." And she goes to get Jennifer. She puts her in the cart, and she gets the cart ready to go. And she says, "Oh, and one more thing." And she kind of like swings her arm behind the back of the cart, and she says, "This is more for your larger friend there. Lobe, was it?"
Mouthful of sandwich.
Little piece of salami sticking out.
She says, "So a couple others, not just me, are sort of on a manhunt of sorts. We're looking for somebody. So if you run into anyone else similar in my situation, I'd appreciate if you gave him a hand. I know me and which one was it? I think it was somebody you're familiar with. Oh gosh, what's her name? We do not hang out long enough. It's like Shanto or Chantil. She's with Sylvanas. We were together briefly and we kind of lost contact. If you manage to find her, just let me know."
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for Chanel.
And she smiles and she just says, "Good luck, boys. You're gonna need it." And she takes off into the nighttime with her own cart and Jennifer in tow. And literally minutes later, you hear like the boom sound of Florence. And I think we're just gonna cut it there with you guys like sitting outside of this fortress with your little monster cart coming to pick you up.